So for this part of the recording, we're going to be turning word equations into actual equations. So we're taking the word and we're putting it in. So I wanted to show us this example for a little bit. And it says we can translate words into inequalities using the equality signs. So the first example said the speed of the car, V, and they refer to it as V. You could refer to it as anything. Exceeds means it's more than 80 kilometers per hour. So I'd say V is greater than 80. All right. The next example says there are less than 22 candies, which they refer to as N, in the jar. So N is less than 22. The next one says you have to score at least 50 marks to get a pass. So at least meaning I could also equal to 50, but I have to get more than 50. The bottom number is 50. So M is greater than or equal to 50. And then the next part says the maximum capacity of the school bus is 77 passengers. So X is less than or equal to 77. X is less than or equal to 77. All right, so that's just the starting of when we're writing equations. These ones are very simple. Again, all we do is we look at the question, the word problems, and we identify, are they asking us to do more, less, or is it equal to? All right, and then once we've done that, then we could write out the actual letters and numbers. I want us to look at this. Question again. It says write an inequality for the following situation, and this is where we're transforming word problems into equations. All right, so it says I need at least 30 minutes to bake a coffee. At least 30 minutes to bake a coffee. And they said let t hours equal the time needed. All right, so let's look at some of the answers that some people are giving. All right, let's look at this one right here. It says 30 is less than or equal to t. So yes, it's saying that t hours, I need at least. So we know that the bottom line is 30. So t has to be greater than or equal to 30. All right, that's a perfect example of how we could just transform a word problem into a simple inequality. The next example we want to look at is, again, it's asking us to write an inequality for the following situation. There are not more than 6 cans of soda in the fridge. There are not more than 6 cans of soda in the fridge. So it means that there might be less, or there is less. All right, there are not more than 6, but there could be 6. Ooh, look at this tricky question. So it says let N be the number of soda, the number of cans of soda. All right, they're not more than 6. So could there be 6? All right, let's look at some of the answers that we're getting on here. So this one, it says there are not more than 6 cans in the fridge. So we could have 6 cans in the fridge because it said they're not more than 6. So N has to be less than or equal to 6. All right, we cannot have more than 6, but we could have 6. So that's why N is less than or equal to 6. All right, so we're going to work one more problem when it comes to taking a word problem and turning it into an equality. So the question we're going to look at is this one. So it says 3 times a number. I want some suggestions in the chat. Send me some suggestions in the chat of what you think this inequality would look like. So 3 times a number increased by 8. So 3 times a number increased by 8 is no more than the number decreased by 4. What? Do you see that? This is a good one right here. So it says 3 times a number. I'm just going to write it out in order. All right. 3 times a number. I don't know what that number is. Increased by 8. Increase means plus. Is no more than. So it's not more than whatever else, but it could be equal to it. It's no more than that same number right here, decreased, which is minus, by 4. Do we see how we end up getting this one right here? So 3 times a number increased by 8 is no more than the number decreased by 4. Find that number. Now, since they're asking me to find that number, then I could go in and solve it like I would a regular problem. All right. So I want my x's on one side and everything else on the other side. So I'm going to minus x right here. Whatever you do on one side, sure enough, got to do it on the other side. On the other side. So this is 2x plus 8 is less than or equal to negative 4. All right, now I want to get this 8 on that side. So that's a minus 8 on both sides. And this is 0. So I'm going to get 2x is less than or equal to negative 12. All right, I'm going to put this up here. So then I'm going to write this 2x is less than or equal to negative 12. We're going to leave that at that for now, because mostly I want us to focus on how do we transfer this word problem into an equation. And this is how we do it. All we got to do is read across, and you can literally tell that it goes with the problem. All right. That's how we transform word problems into inequalities. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, let me know, please.